You
The worst thing about this job is that nobody says thank you. Well, I am here to say thank you.
I know how important it is.
To deliberately believe in lies while knowing they are false. Hi viewers, today I'm here to analyze and discuss the theme and message and morale of the Hollywood very much interesting yet mysterious movie Detachment. That is a direction of Kaye and production of Academy Award winning producer of The Hurt Locker. And the story of The Detachment is written by Adrien, which literally was Adrien Brody, who plays the role of Henry Bathurst, is the leading character around whom the entire story of the movie evolves. He is a substitute teacher in a city school who drifts from classroom to classroom and finds a connection with the students and teachers during his total assignment.
You've taken long-term assignments at Locke and MacArthur, the Fringe.
That's where the work's at.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Morning. I have one rule. Just one. If you don't wish to be here, don't come.
What the fuck? Do you want me to go to the dean's office?
I don't care where you go.
Although he shuns emotional connections and never stays long enough in one district to bond with his students or colleagues, when a new assignment places him at a public school with a frustrated, burnt out administration and apathetic student body, Henry very rapidly becomes a role model as a teacher for all his class students, who literally cares about the well-being of the students and fellow teachers.
I understand you're angry. I used to be very angry too.
Better back the fuck up before I fucking rock your shit.
You have no reason to be angry with me because I'm one of the few people that's here trying to give you an opportunity.
When Henry Bathurst was 7 years old, he got detached from his mother. Throughout the movie, he encounters a series of different situations as he endeavors to connect with the students and make a positive impact on their lives. He forms relationships with several troubled students, including Erica, a young girl who is dealing with an abusive home life.
Get out! Just get out!
Another student saved.
Where are all the parents?
You're like the only family I've ever had.
Why, I can't be your family.
To count my blessings, I choose instead to dwell in my disaster. I walk on down the hill through grass grown tall and brown, and still it's hard somehow to let go of my.
And Meredith, a talented but well-destructive artist. Meredith.
I watch you around school and you always seem so sad. Maybe you need someone to talk to.
A faceless man in an empty room. Is that how you see me, Meredith?
Do you ever think about who your teachers were on the outside?
Played by Kaye, who sits in the back of the classroom in a Queens high school. She draws in her notebook sketches of monsters and students and teachers. She also takes pictures. A student at the Queens High School where Detachment takes place. She uses her camera to capture and to memorize and possess. As we watch her from a series of low, close, disturbing angles, she records the adults around her, the teachers who dismiss or ignore her, and others who pay attention towards her too. She papers her bedroom with photos, she makes colleagues, and she winces so painfully as the father berates her, disparaging her effort in desperation, her isolation, and also her weight, that terrible measure of worth in a high school and everywhere else, turning and clearly doomed, not at the center of detachment, but still she remains poignantly compelling till the end of the movie Detachment. If she's unable to see the ends to which she was being used, you can hardly miss them. Her sharp photos of Mr. Wyatt, that's being played by Tim Blake Nelson, a very famous Hollywood actor, pressing himself against the chain link fence that marks the schoolyard, convey all the creepy possibilities, images of Doris Pierre present her soul's decay. As she explains one of her class fellows, and it's one sort type of a warning from him that she commits subsequently in the movie, that she will become a carnival of pain, and when you can't stand it one more day, one more hour, it will get worse, much worse. And photos of Henry Bart's, the substitute teacher Meredith imagines will rescue her, convey the character of his nobility, arrogance, and pain. According to Henry, Meredith's rendition is not far off from the way he sees himself, as he later confesses in front of Sarah, his tutor colleague, "I'm a non-person, I'm hollow," as he confesses. I take like him. Henry is just left with his grandfather, alone in his living facility. He announces his displeasure at the lack of assistance his grandfather receives here, turning into a noise at the desk. "Let me be very close here." He roars close up to his caretaker. "You stop neglecting his needs or I will start fucking with yours. I will have you fired. It's you and your family, your children, are gonna be at risk." Henry Bart's through and is encountering many burdens he experiences throughout the movie. He doesn't only has to characterize the doubtful conditions in public high school. So Detachment uses Henry's resentment and anguish to illustrate others' feelings and hollowness also. But as much as he wowed talking students throughout their rages and assigning them to write a brief but detailed essay about what a friend or parent might say to you during your funeral, he's also unable to be what they needed, as he failed to save Meredith and Erica also. Meredith, Erica, and Henry all give us the same lesson and morale of detachment. That is to say, the process of letting go of the egoic emotional that keeps us stuck at one place. It's the ability to release the negativity of circumstances we find ourselves then, there, and after. It's not literally about giving up, not caring. Simply, it's about accepting what is actually, appreciating all that we have, literally. As determined as Henry sounds during lecturing his students on the dangers of double-think, of believing the lies you know are lies. He says, "This is a market holocaust." He rumbles as he cuts to an admiring Meredith and the good student and the bully, at first meaning and then coming around. Henry are just old to resist the procedure, turning them into types as the powers that are hard at work, dumbing us to death. So what is he trying to explain here to his students is that to fight back, they must stop absorbing everything around them and instead learn to discriminate, to judge, to read, to stimulate their own imagination. The irony pounding here that the directive to read is delivered in such unsubtle form, apparent allowing for no reading whatsoever only just emphasizing more and more from absorbing what the students are actually reading.
While knowing they're false. Examples of this in everyday life. Oh, I need to be pretty to be happy. I need surgery to be pretty. I need to be thin, famous, fashionable. Our young men today are being told that women are whores, bitches, things to be screwed, beaten, shit on, and shamed. This is a marketing holocaust. 24 hours a day, for the rest of our lives, the powers that be are hard at work, dumbing us to death. So, to defend ourselves and fight against assimilating this dullness into our thought.
Henry Barnes, consequently, teaches us how to fight our demons and all negativities inside us, not suppressing them either, but confronting them eye to eye. Like Meredith constantly forced and faced shocks after shocks, he details about the suicide of his mother and the reason behind his constant pain and hollowness inside him was the result of his mother's committing suicide by taking an overdosed medicine. He also implies that his grandfather had sexually abused his mother.
Your mother came by today. Have you spoken to her lately?
No. But you tell her I'm fine.
You always say you're fine, but I know you hide things from me. You've always been closed off ever since you were a kid. Why is that? Huh?
So, you can imagine with what pain he has been going through. But even then, he says that he felt insecure with either of them. His grandfather was still his responsibility. Such an irony being shown in the movie Detachment about relations, about parenting, about what do the children go through if the parents are lacking attention towards them, ignoring them. So, the final scene of Detachment features Adrien Brody, character with powder, and walking down a hallway lined with lockers as he walks. The sound of a young girl singing a haunting rendition of Billie Holiday's Strange Freight grows louder and louder. So my dear friends, the Detachment movie is very conversive and is very necessary for all of us to watch in this parenting media we are being dwelling. Because the detachment is embracing an individuality and taking responsibility for our own lives instead of waiting for someone else to come and do something for us or to help us or to get out from that situation. It is we that we have to do something different so that our lives can be normal. Our situations, if can't be normal, at least they can be tackled neutrally with sensibility and with sensitivity and apprehension. Taking accepting the bitter fact that we are powerless over other people, whether be anyone being attached to someone in such a sort that you might depend on him or her at every step of life or in any situation, in any problem you might have been involved. It's your problem. So take charge of that problem. Take that energy, take that willpower to fight it out, to struggle it out, to war it out. You will fall down thousands of times, but stand up millions of times again. So the movie of Detachment, my dear friends, is simply one of responsibility, caring, and parenting. If you're a parent, nurture your children and allow them to be themselves. Don't impose your decisions, your behaviors, your feelings, or your desires on your children. Let them open up what they are, but do not protest them or hate them for what they are, because they are your kids. Don't expect a school system to raise them for you. As they say, education begins at home. And nevertheless, who can deny this fact that education of all our kids necessarily and undoubtedly begins at home. Before you point out someone else's flaws, first recognize your own. This is the way to grow, and let your kids grow. So the conclusion of the movie Detachment is, though very sad, yet it is a positive one from everyone who take it as affirmative. Listen, not to recommit the mistakes done by the characters in the movie Detachment. My name is Meredith, and I'm going to kill myself. Meredith kills herself by eating poison cupcakes she makes for the school function. The movie ends with Henry Bartz finishing his 3-week teaching stint, preparing the students for his departure. That's all, my dear viewers. Let me know your views. Signing out. See you again very soon. Take care. And don't forget, watch the movie Detachment.